Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The health of Patrick Mahomes remains a question mark as the Chiefs prepare for the AFC title game Sunday, but there are hopeful signs for the reigning Super Bowl champs. NFL Network's Mike Garafolo reports that while Mahomes remains in the league's concussion protocol, he is so far symptom-free, and the team plans to have him practice Wednesday. On the NFC side, Bucs receiver Antonio Brown is day-to-day after an MRI on his knee came back clear. His status for Sunday is not yet known. The Jets made it official Tuesday, setting former Niners defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to be their new head coach. Saleh thanked Jets fans in a statement, telling them, quote, "Your passion and commitment are priceless. We have a lot of work to do and can't do it without your support." And Sarah Thomas is making history again. The NFL's first female on-field official will now become the first woman to officiate a Super Bowl. She was named the down judge for Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Frank's Red Hot is the perfect blend of flavor and heat. That's why you can use an entire bottle to make buffalo chicken dip, the kind you might make for when you're watching the game at home. And maybe this year there's less people around to watch the game with. Yay! But that just means there's more dip, and it's all for you. Some of you may say, that's too much dip, but deep down in your heart of hearts, you know it isn't. So go ahead, finish it. Frank's Red Hot don't judge. Frank's Red Hot, I put that on everything.
The NFL family is committed to conversations and actions that advance social justice and move us towards a more equal and just tomorrow. The NFL created Inspire Change to reduce barriers to opportunity and create progress in police community relations, criminal justice reform, education, and economic advancement. Join NFL players, clubs, and the league in ensuring that access to opportunity is a reality for all. It takes all of us to end racism and hate. Learn more at NFL.com/InspireChange.
Valley Dry Cleaning, now at 116 South Imperial Avenue in Imperial. Valley Dry Cleaning, keeping you looking your best and helping keep your clothes looking good. They'll retain their size, their shape, their color. You're going to be happy and you're going to be looking good with the professional services at Valley Dry Cleaning. And of course, Valley Dry Cleaning has you in mind, your safety and convenience. Let them know you're in the parking lot and they'll come out with curbside service, touchless. They'll pick up your dry cleaning. They will deliver your dry cleaning, and it's available at Valley Dry Cleaning. Just let them know you're in the parking lot. Valley Dry Cleaning, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. at 116 South Imperial Avenue in Imperial. That's right next to Humble Farmer Brewing. Valley Dry Cleaning in Imperial. Well, good morning, Gene.
Good morning.
Staying dry?
So far. How about you?
Yes, so far.
I'm dressed for the occasion, that's for sure.
Well, you know, it gets wet, it gets muddy. Yeah, it's the valley, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's the only place you probably know you come to work and wear your waterproof hunting boots.
Yes.
And they're camouflage.
Oh, yes. I have chest waders hanging by the front door just in case they're needed.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I knew that Imperial Valley doesn't do well with rain, so
no.
I knew that I better put the boots on. So here we are.
Yeah, okay. We're going to jump into the news early. Lots of things happening. We've got a visit with the mayor of El Centro, a visit with the mayor of Brawley. That's coming up. Birthdays today, singer Eric Stewart of 10cc, also with Wayne Fontana of the Mindbenders. He's 76. Drummer George Grantham of Poco, 74. Paul Stanley of Kiss, 69. Bass player Ian Hill of Judas Priest, 69. Actor Lorenzo Lamas, 63. Actor James Denton, 58. Actor Rainn Wilson, 55. Actor Stacey Dash, 54. Actor Reno Wilson is 52. Actor Skeet Ulrich is 51. Actor Evan Peters is 34. Local birthdays coming up.
The coronavirus is affecting everyone's
must wear face coverings when out.
What do I do?
What are you going to do?
When this is all over.
When this is all over.
When this is all over.
What are you going to do?
Going to a concert.
School. Having dinner with friends. Take better care of each other.
Support local shops and stores. Offering more help to others.
This should be over soon.
Let's celebrate our KXO birthdays. Happy birthday, Helen Molina, Camila Quijada, Eric Quijada, Zulma Villanueva, Savannah Diaz, Lucero Cardenas, Karina Romero, Jenny Ward, Janet Belt, DeZante Wyatt, Dale Miller, Alexander Calderon, Hallie Navarro, Mercedes Partida, Stephanie Molina, Samantha Hernandez, John Britchke, Yaya Verdugo, Marjorie Huffman, Michaela Cuff, Denise Shetler, Kevin Ward, and my sister-in-law, Cindy Buckley. Happy birthday from KXO.
Whatever the weather
Gina,
brings
you ready
this
for
winter,
news?
you can rely on
I
New York
am
Affinity.
ready as I'm going to be.
Okay, we're going to jump in with a look at World in California news headlines. And it's brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning. They are your year-round comfort specialist. For sales, for service, it's Lock Air Conditioning.
CBS News Special Report. The Marine Band plays at the U.S. Capitol, where Joe Biden has just arrived for his inauguration in less than an hour and a half. CBS's Nicole Killian.
This really will be the last time that he will enter the Capitol, not just as a former vice president, but also as a former senator who served here at the Capitol for 36 years. And of course, when he exits here on the East Front following that swearing-in ceremony, he will, of course, be the 46th president of the United States.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff, chatting with the Bidens outside the Capitol. The couple's holding hands as they walk up the steps, now entering the building. Former presidents and first ladies have arrived to witness history. Barack Obama tweeting, "Congratulations to my friend Joe Biden. This is your time." CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Whatever the weather brings this winter, you can rely on a York Affinity premium system to keep your home warm and comfortable. You'll get maximum efficiency thanks to advanced technology and helping to significantly reduce your energy bills. Plus, you can stay connected via our Wi-Fi-enabled touchscreen thermostat. Every York unit is designed, engineered, and assembled in the United States and backed by industry-leading warranties. Affordable financing options are available. Call Lock Air Conditioning, your local York dealer, at 760-353-4501. That's 353-4501 to schedule a free evaluation of your system. York, install confidence. Contractor's license 696-216.
California headline news. Joe Biden being sworn into office as the nation's 46th president to this hour, while California's Kamala Harris becomes the nation's first female vice president. Tuesday night, Harris joining Biden at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool to honor those lost to the pandemic.
We gather tonight, a nation in mourning, to pay tribute to the lives we have lost.
State health officials updating the numbers on the state's battle against COVID-19.
We're at 23,794 cases reported. It's a 7-day average of 35,669.
It's down a bit. State Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Gale. California successfully vaccinating more than 1 million people within 10 days, meeting Governor Newsom's goal. On a day when the Dodgers held a memorial service for Tommy Lasorda at Dodger Stadium, word that another Dodger great, pitcher Don Sutton, had died at his home in Rancho Mirage at the age of 75. Upper 70s in L.A. today, 60s in San Jose, rain for the weekend. Jeff Scott, California News.
World in California news headlines brought to you this morning by Lock Air Conditioning, your year-round comfort specialist.
Leave your sister alone. You're ready to get back into yoga, so you order the essentials: a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear. Noise-canceling headphones.
Welcome. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like Taylor Swift choosing what to wear.
It's looking kind of chilly out today. I think I'll go with
a cardigan.
Yep, even easier than that. And with our top-rated app, you can bank anytime, anywhere, making Capital One an even easier decision. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
New consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
It's page one of the local news. Page one of service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in Brawley and El Centro. Quick, ready to serve.
Taking a look at the latest in local news, we had a visit with the Brawley Mayor, Luke Hamby.
The consent agenda handled matters such as of accounts payable, minutes from previous city council meetings, and second readings of new ordinances that had their first readings at the previous council meeting, among other items. For regular business that included action items, we received an update on COVID-19 statistics and ongoing testing and vaccination details. We voted to extend the declaration of the ongoing local emergency for COVID-19 in order to continue to receive aid and assistance from county, state, and federal agencies. As mayor, I was asked by the Joint Chambers of Commerce, in collaboration with the County Health Department, to add my signature to a letter of urgent request to Governor Gavin Newsom for increase of COVID-19 vaccine allotment to Imperial Valley. I read the letter into the record and signed it. Next, we voted to appoint our city attorney, Bill Smurden, to the office of treasurer, which is a role he had been filling since the departure of our previous treasurer, who was also our then finance director. We discussed and gave staff direction regarding the wording of a new ordinance addressing food and other vendors operating in city parks. A record of building permits for December 2020 was then entered into the record, followed by an update from Public Works Director Guillermo Cias on an emergency construction project at the water treatment plant. We wrapped up a brief meeting with City Council member reports, which included short updates on commission and board meetings attended, a request to focus more efforts on beefing up our fireworks ordinance and enforcement countering ongoing illegal fireworks use, as well as comments from the city attorney and council members about the positive feedback we've been getting about changes the city manager has been making toward becoming more business and developer friendly. Lastly, we offered our collective condolences to our county supervisor, Ryan Kelly, and the entire Kelly family over the sudden passing of former IID General Manager Kevin Kelly. I adjourned the meeting at 6:56 p.m.
And that's the mayor of Brawley, Luke Hamby. And now we have a visit with El Centro Mayor, Cheryl Walker.
Well, before we do that, let me tell you that Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center in Brawley and El Centro are ready to serve. Yes, they have windshield wipers, and yes, they can install them for you. Quick Lane. You'll find Quick Lane in the Brawley Auto Center, Highway 86 in Julia Drive in Brawley, and on Imperial Avenue next to Food for Less in El Centro. At Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment. And now, a visit with Mayor Walker.
At the meeting last night, the El Centro City Council heard a presentation by Lisa Winkler, a business owner in El Centro, who made several excellent points about the impact of homelessness on our community. Ms. Winkler has done a lot of research and highlighted many of the community resources and services that are available for our homeless population. She also highlighted many of the needs for our homeless population, including we need a night shelter for men. We definitely need a day center where homeless residents can receive services. A sober living facility would be a great add, as well as a facility to help with the detox process from heroin, which has become a huge problem in the Imperial Valley. These and many other needs were highlighted by Ms. Winkler, and at the end of her presentation, she was asked to become a member of the El Centro Task Force to end homelessness, which was recently formed and being chaired by Council Member Marroquin. Next, El Centro Police Chief Brian Johnson responded to concerns that have been raised by residents living in the Farmers Estates subdivision about illegal fireworks being set off in their neighborhood. Chief Johnson informed the council he went back to take a look, and there were approximately 30 calls per service in the recent time span. He talked about the police department's ability to respond and the option to cite people under the city's existing ordinance. The matter was referred to the Community Enhancement Task Force, which will meet today and discuss a more aggressive approach toward enforcement. Council then received an update from Public Works Director Abraham Campos on our new library, which will be constructed due east of the existing library at Imperial and Via Avenue. This is being constructed on property that was donated to the city of El Centro. So what we are fortunate in that we did not have to go out and purchase land for this site, which is a great savings in terms of constructing a new library. Mr. Campos reported that the $20 million project will be funded from Measure P, which was the city's sales tax measure. None of the funding will come from the general fund. The library design is now complete and is within the $20 million budget for the project. In February, the council will approve the plans and authorize staff to release the project for public bidding. It is anticipated that the library project will be awarded in April of this year. Construction will start in June and be completed in 2022. Details about the library design and location will be posted on the City of El Centro library website for all to see and celebrate. After the update on building the new library, Richard Romero, our Director of Finance, explained how we are going to pay for it. Mr. Romero, that in November 2016, El Centro voters approved the sales tax increase and approved the funding of the two largest capital improvement projects, which will be the $20 million for the new library and an additional $36 million for a new police station. Between April 2017 and June 2020, the city has collected approximately $17 million in Measure P revenues. There's currently $11 million available, and an additional a little over $5 million it's projected to be collected this fiscal year. Next was a presentation again by our Police Chief Johnson that was a follow-up on the school resource specialist position. The position will be fully funded from a Department of Justice tobacco grant in the amount of $533,000. Chief Johnson did confirm that the position will be full-time with benefits. The resource specialist will work with high school and junior high students, and the primary focus is going to be to provide education on the health risks of using all types of tobacco projects. Today is going to be a busy day. We have, in addition to the Community Enhancement Task Force meeting, there will be later today a closed session joint meeting between the City Council and the ECRMC Board of Trustees regarding future COVID-19 vaccination clinics. Held the first clinic on Monday. We had 600 people vaccinated. That's the good news. We know, though, that we can do a better job in terms of the delivery method, and that's what we're going to discuss today. On Saturday, January 23rd, there will be an El Centro Community Cleanup Day at CR&R, located at 599 East Main Street. Between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m., El Centro residents who have, they must show proof of residency, a driver's license, and a water bill. Face masks are required. Social distancing is going to be observed. But CNR during this community cleanup event will be allowing you to drop off at their facility sofa beds, couches, tables, chairs, mattresses, excess grass clippings, tree trimmings, even large appliances, e-waste. In addition, up to 9 tires will be accepted. So if you have been doing some spring cleaning early and are ready for those items to be just dropped off as part of this cleanup day, circle Saturday, January 23rd from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and be at CR&R 599 East Main Street. That's the update for the El Centro City Council, and we are wishing you all much joy on this very, very historic day.
And that's Cheryl Walker, the mayor of El Centro, and that concludes this edition of Local News. Stay with us for Page 2.
Page 1 of the local news, a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in El Centro and Brawley. Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment.
Ford is America's best-selling brand, and now is the best time to buy because you can get great offers on the Ford vehicle lineup. We build Ford trucks that offer outstanding performance and capability. We build Ford SUVs that offer versatile and convenient features to help you every day. And because Ford trucks and SUVs are built for this, you make Ford America's best-selling brand. Come see why at your local Ford store, based on 2019 calendar year total sales. Right now, there are big deals on SUVs at your San Diego County Ford dealers. Get 0% financing for 72 months on a 2020 Ford Explorer or 2020 Escape Gas. Not all buyers will qualify for Ford credit financing. 0% APR financing for 72 months at $13.89 per month for $1,000 financed regardless of down payment. Not available on Escape Hybrid and Escape Plug-in Hybrid. Residency restrictions apply. Taking retail from an authorized Ford dealer stock by 2/1/2021. See dealer for qualifications and complete details. Come visit your San Diego County Ford dealers and get these deals before they're gone.
It's Page 2 of the local news. It's brought to you by David H. West Insurance Services. See David or Jose for life insurance, health insurance, or retirement planning.
Taking a look at the latest in local news, Imperial County is in mourning for the former IID General Manager Kevin Kelly, who passed away. Reports are he died at home Tuesday morning. No details have been released. Kelly was a dedicated public servant. He worked in public relations, was a journalist, musician, and a longtime general manager of the Imperial Irrigation District. As GM, Kelly was an ardent supporter of Imperial County water rights and the restoration of the Salton Sea. He is the brother of District 4 County Supervisor Ryan Kelly. Kevin is also survived by his wife, children, and grandchild, his parents, and other family members. He was 61 years of age. Well, the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood watch for the Imperial Valley. The flash flood watch means conditions may develop that lead to flash flooding. The flash flood watch is in effect for Imperial County and most of Yuma County, including the communities of Yuma, Calexico, Ocotillo, Salton City, Brawley, Desert Shores, El Centro, Winter Haven, Plaster City, and Imperial Hot Springs, or Mineral Hot Springs. The watch is in effect now through late Wednesday. Well, the Imperial County Public Health Department updated the COVID-19 information Tuesday morning, and it shows the number of active cases in the valley is 1,342. That's down from 1,809 reported on Friday. The number of deaths increased by 2, going from 463 on Friday to 465 on Tuesday. The health department says that as of Tuesday morning, there were 131 patients hospitalized with the virus. That's down from 143 on Friday. There are 2 ICU beds available in the county. The report of new cases per 100,000 population is still very high at slightly over 83, and the positivity rate of those tested is fairly consistent at 38.68%. We'll be back with a look at the weather.
Have you received notice that your Medicare health plan is changing or going away? Are you turning 65 soon, or are you newly eligible to Medicare and have questions about your Medicare options? Then give David or Jose a call at David H. West Insurance to learn about the ABCs of Medicare. Don't delay. Call David H. West Insurance Services now at 760-352-3411. That's 760-352-3411. That's David H. West Insurance.
Here's Carroll Buckley with the weather update.
The National Weather Service says a low-pressure system will bring somewhat cooler weather and periodic showers to the region through Thursday. Even a few isolated thunderstorms and moderate to locally heavy rainfall are possible today across the Imperial and Yuma valleys. After a brief break in the activity Friday, a second weather system will dive into the western United States over the weekend, resulting in additional chances for rain. high elevation snowfall, and even cooler temperatures. 71 the high yesterday, 44 the low. Scattered thunderstorms and trace amounts of precipitation recorded. Today, we will have showers throughout the day. Look for a high near 63, north wind about 5 miles an hour. Tonight, showers likely, mainly before 4 a.m. It'll be cloudy with temperatures around 59 degrees, northwest wind about 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, cloudy through mid-morning, then gradual clearing with a high near 70. There is a 30% chance of showers before 10 a.m. Light winds becoming west about 5 miles an hour in the afternoon. We have 55 degrees downtown, 94% relative humidity, light rain, and wind out of the north-northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. Page 2 of the local news brought to you by David H. West Insurance Services. See David or Jose for health insurance plans and Medicare supplemental coverage. David H. West Insurance Services.
Cocoapod Casino is open for business 24 hours a day and committed to your safety. Play in comfort and cleanliness on the Cocoapod Casino floor, featuring all your favorite games, properly spaced and meeting social distancing guidelines. Relax and play at the friendliest casino in Yuma, making sure you're comfortable with constant disinfection, safety precautions, and welcoming smiles for your visit. Winning is just around the corner at Cocoapod Casino and Resort, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
Well, let's take a quick turn in sports. NBA action. The Nuggets beat up on the Thunder, 119-101. Jazz jumped on the Pelicans, 118-102. NFL. Well, Phillip Rivers says, I'm done. He has announced his retirement. 16 years with the Chargers, 1 year with the Indianapolis Colts. His 17-year record-breaking career is over. In baseball, Hall of Fame pitcher Don Sutton has passed away at the age of 75. The right-hander won 300 games in his Hall of Fame career. And outfielder George Springer and the Toronto Blue Jays have agreed to a 6-year, $150 million deal. Tiger Woods has undergone a microdiscectomy to alleviate nerve pain in his lower back. He will not compete in next week's Farmers Insurance Open or the Genesis Invitational next month. That's it for Sports Time. Stay tuned. Financial news coming up.
Since 1901, Imperial Printers Rocket Copy has provided the finest printing and copying services from start to finish. When you choose Imperial Printers Rocket Copy, you can feel confident in our expertise and personal attention to your project. We have a team of professional graphic designers ready to take your ideas and make them a reality. From promotional merchandise, full-color brochures, blueprints, and high-speed copies to business forms and everything else in between, Imperial Printers Rocket Copy offers dependable and affordable quality printing. Thank you for choosing locally owned and operated Imperial Printers Rocket Copy. We have convenient locations near you at 430 West Main Street and 100 South 11th Street in El Centro and 184 South Plaza in Brawley.
Financial news and a brief look at the weather brought to you by Southwest Security, a locally owned security service protecting you and your property. Southwest Security also offers live scan to the public. Well, what's going on? U.S. stocks opened higher today on Inauguration Day. Other news around the financial front, grocery chain Lidl, today it will offer its workers an extra $200 in pay if they get the COVID-19 vaccine. Lidl is the parent company of Aldi. And Procter & Gamble's sales surge as can keep up their COVID cleaning habits. P&G, the maker of big brands like Tide and Gillette, said today that sales grew last quarter as shoppers scooped up everyday home and personal care products. The company also raised its outlook for the year, driving its stock up around 1.5% during pre-market trading. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average at 31,149. That's up 218 points. The S&P 500 up 41. The NASDAQ up 222 points at 13,420. Gold up $29.30 an ounce. And oil is up 38 cents a barrel.
Southwest Security Company is a locally owned security company protecting your property or your business, and now offering live scan fingerprinting to the public. Plus, they added Southwest Postal with post office boxes you can access 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with shipping services too, using DHL, UPS, and FedEx. They're conveniently located at the corner of Heil and 4th Street in El Centro, and if you need something notarized, they can do that too. You can count on Southwest Security and Southwest Postal for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
We will have showers today, an 80% chance of precipitation. Look for a high near 63, north wind about 5 miles an hour. Tonight, showers likely, mainly before 4 a.m. It'll be about 59 degrees with northwest wind about 5 miles an hour. And tomorrow, cloudy through the morning, then gradual clearing. There is a 30% chance of showers before 10 a.m. Look for a high tomorrow near 70 and light wind. And we have 55 degrees, light rain throughout the Imperial Valley, wind out of the north-northwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. Financial news and the weather brought to you by Southwest Security. They offer 24-hour-a-day post office boxes. Southwest Postal at the corner of 4th and Heil, El Centro.
The coronavirus is affecting everyone. Must wear face coverings when out.
What do I do? What are you going to do?
When this is all over.
When this is all over.
When this is all over.
What are you going to do?
Going to a concert,
School,
having dinner with friends,
take better care of each other.
support local shops and stores, offering more help to others.
This should be over soon.
The best oldies on the radio. KXO, El Centro, on AM 1230. KXO. CBS News Special Report.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
The inauguration of Joseph R. Biden Jr. 4 years ago. Again.
America will start winning again. Winning like never before.
Today, it's America United as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris hope to rally the country together.
I believe at our best, America's a beacon for the globe. We will lead not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example.
From CBS News, here's correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
It's a tradition as old as our republic. The swearing in of a new president occasions the renewal of the American government, the heralding of the start of a new era, as power peacefully transfers from one administration to the next. It goes without saying that this occasion this morning is unlike any other. COVID already casting a pall over the inauguration, necessitating a limited crowd. But the deadly, seditious January 6th riot at the Capitol and ongoing threats have led to security restrictions heretofore unseen. President Donald Trump, whose term runs out in 59 minutes, has landed in Florida, having left Washington this morning with a military send-off at Joint Base Andrews. Mr. Trump, as you know, becomes the first president in 152 years not to grace an inauguration with his presence. CBS's Steve Dorsey's live at the Capitol, where a limited number of guests have gathered and dignitaries continue to arrive. Steve?
Yeah, good morning, Stephen. We are awaiting the vice president to enter the West Front and witness this transfer of power on a cold, damp morning here at the Capitol as the sun tries to break through parting clouds. This inauguration, as you said, is unlike any we've seen. Roads around Capitol Hill, the Supreme Court, National Mall, and White House are shut down with an unprecedented security presence. That's all because of concerns about threats to the inauguration following that siege here 2 weeks ago, where thousands of protesters and rioters swarmed onto the temporary risers and platforms built on the West Front for today's events. You can still see, in fact, the effects of those riots with shattered windows still awaiting repairs. And on the National Mall,
Instead of thousands of spectators, it's 200,000 miniature flags representing the people from all 50 states, that Colombia, and 5 permanently inhabited U.S. territories who can't be here because of their security and coronavirus restrictions. Miles of fencing topped with razor wire now surround the Capitol building. 25,000 National Guard troops are patrolling the vehicle checkpoints, along with police security and COVID
Ladies and gentlemen,
screenings.
The Vice President of the United States, the Honorable Michael R. Pence and Mrs. Karen Pence.
There's the announcement for the outgoing Vice President, arm in arm with his wife, Karen Pence, the current Second Lady, walking down the carpeted steps on the same platform as Steve Dorsey reports. It's the scene of the seditious riot overtaken by a mob 2 weeks ago. Now it is very much the setting for the peaceful transfer of power. Mike Pence, the only representative of the outgoing administration, on hand to see it. He was keen to do it, and the President-elect Joe Biden said he was happy to have Mike Pence there. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., age 78, church this morning. The first Catholic president since John F. Kennedy attended Mass at St. Matthew's Cathedral, less than a mile north of the White House. You may remember that John F. Kennedy's funeral service was held at that church. Congressional leaders of both parties were there with Mr. Biden for the service. Aides to the new president say in his address, Mr. Biden will reflect on the need to bring the country together during an unprecedented moment of crisis. Aides also tell us the new president will spend his first afternoon in the Oval Office signing 17 orders aimed at reversing some of his predecessors' signature policies. A busy day is ahead for the new president. It's also a historic day for the new vice president, Kamala Harris. And CBS's Allison Keyes is live with us for more on that. Allison?
It is a historic day for the vice president to be Kamala Harris in many ways. Not only is she being sworn in as the first female, but the first Black and South Asian woman to be the vice president. That's just a heartbeat away from leading the nation. Harris herself has said that she might be the first woman to hold the job, but she won't be the last. And that is a message that has been heard by children around this nation and around the world. Interestingly, she is being sworn in by Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She is the nation's first Latina Supreme Court justice. And Harris will be using 2 Bibles. One belongs to Thurgood Marshall. He was a civil rights icon and the first Black justice on the court. Harris has called him one of her heroes and says that he inspired her career. A second Bible will also be used for the ceremony, that one belonging to Regina Shelton. That was a neighbor who was like a second mother to Harris and her sister as they were growing up. The thing about that mob is it robbed a lot of people who probably would have come to D.C. to see this, in the way tens of thousands came to see President Obama become the nation's first Black president. This has been very important to the Black community. It's been very important to the Asian community because they say their daughters can now look at the soon-to-be vice president and think, there I could be. Stephen?
Allison Key is reporting on the historic moment for the new Vice President, Kamala Harris. You're hearing the Marine Band at the west front of the Capitol play Hail Columbia, a traditional song that is played in honor of the Vice President, and you'll hear it again in about a half hour's time as Kamala Harris takes the oath of office to become the new Vice President of the United States. The outgoing president wished his successor well this morning in his remarks at Joint Base Andrews after he left the White House for the final time.
I wish the new administration great luck and great success. I think they'll have great success. They have the foundation to do something really spectacular. And again, we put it in a position like it's never been before, despite the worst plague to hit since, I guess you'd say 1917, over 100 years ago. And despite that, the things that we've done have been just incredible, and I couldn't have done it without you. So just a goodbye. We love you. We will be back in some form.
That's the word of the outgoing president, Donald Trump, who, as we mentioned, has landed in Florida in the final hour of his presidency. He's not at the Capitol for the swearing in, but we're told he kept one tradition. He left his successor a note in the Oval Office. We don't know what it said. Let's bring in CBS News political analyst Leonard Steinhorn and our contributor Peter Mayer. Lenny, the incoming president is expected to leap right into solving what he sees as the crises the nation faces. Your thoughts on the state of the republic in this moment of crisis?
Well, crisis is the operative word here. We face crises in so many areas of our country. We have a public health crisis, a once-in-a-century pandemic, more than 400,000 dead, approaching the size of Oakland, California, the number of people dead, and more sadly to come. Hospitals are overflowing, doctors and nurses and first responders are stressed, other procedures for people needing their health care addressed delayed. But on top of that, there's an economic crisis, business bankruptcies, a cratered hospitality industry of restaurants and hotels, millions unemployed and struggling to put food on the table and a roof over their head. We also face an environmental crisis, which Joe Biden has vowed to address. Our planet is warming at a record rate with consequences that will be very real for future generations. Internationally, we've seen a complete loss of confidence in the leadership of the United States. But overriding all of this is a crisis in our democracy, symbolized by the assault on the Capitol 2 weeks ago. But it's much more than that. You have large swaths of Americans who refuse to accept the results of a fair, free, and secure election. You have media outlets followed by millions spewing out mistruths and lies. You have trust in government, institutions, the press at historic lows. We have large numbers of Americans refusing to accept the facts and evidence that good journalism reports. Add all of this together, and Joe Biden enters a presidency at a moment of crisis that in recent history can be compared only to the 1960s and to 1933, when Franklin Roosevelt took the oath of office amid the Great Depression.
I will note the headline in this morning's New York Times. It reads, "It's the dawn of an era. The nation is exhausted." That's the editorial take of the people who lay out the front page of the New York Times this morning. We're watching inside the Capitol in the crypt. The new Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, is on the arm of her husband, Doug Emhoff, set to become the second gentleman of the United States. And you can hear the footsteps as they come down the hallway on their way out to the west front of the Capitol. Peter Mayer, our veteran of the White House beat, who's covered every inaugural since Jimmy Carter's. How tall is the task for the new team as it calls for unity?
Well, as we listen to these footsteps of Doug Emhoff and our soon-to-be Vice President Kamala Harris heading on to what President George H.W. Bush called democracy's porch, I'd say, Stephen, it is not a stretch at all to say that no president since Lincoln in 1865 has faced the challenge of trying to unite a divided country, facing the pandemic, rocky economic issues, and the harsh political divisions. Joe Biden, as we've stressed already, has said his goal is unity.
Ladies and gentlemen, accompanying the Vice President-elect, the Chief of Inaugural Ceremonies, Maria Miller-Lohmeyer, the Acting Deputy House Sergeant-at-Arms, Kevin Grubbs, and the Acting Deputy Senate Sergeant-at-Arms, United States Capitol Police Officer Private First Class Eugene O. Goodman.
Eugene O. Goodman. You remember that name. He was the police officer who steered some of the rioters away from the Senate chamber 2 weeks ago today. Steve Dorsey's on Capitol Hill described the scene as Officer Goodman is receiving a hero's welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. People have risen to their feet to pay tribute to this hero, where just 2 weeks ago he stared down and led rioters away from key parts of the Senate.
Marine Band, the Herald Trumpets, heralding the arrival of the woman who is about to become the first female Vice President of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President-elect of the United States, Kamala Devi Harris, and Mr. Douglas Emhoff.
56-year-old Kamala Harris from Oakland, California, a daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants who spent 4 years in the Senate, 6 years as California's Attorney General, waving to the crowd along with her husband, Doug Emhoff. Emhoff, by the way, intends to keep his job as a law professor at Georgetown University Law School in Washington. The new second family continues walking down the carpeted steps, waving to the dignitaries who are on hand. Kamala Harris says she intends to be a partner to the president in the same way that Mr. Biden was for Barack Obama. And there's Kamala Harris giving an elbow bump to friends and a fist bump to former President Barack Obama and Mrs. Obama. Kamala Harris will be the first Madam Vice President. Doug Emhoff will become the first second gentleman. There's an oddity about today, a side effect of one president flying to Florida while another prepares to take the oath of office in Washington. The Pentagon has prepared 2 nuclear footballs. One is actually with Mr. Trump right now in West Palm Beach, containing nuclear codes that expire at noon. And another military aide is standing by at the Capitol to join the president-elect's entourage starting at noon Eastern Time in Washington. Last night, as you may know, the outgoing president took a number of actions in his final hours in office. He pardoned his top aide. Steve Bannon was accused of bilking donors to fund the border wall in an effort there. He was accused of fraud, but now Steve Bannon will not stand trial for that. More than 100 other people received last-minute pardons and computations. Mr. Trump also reversed a major portion of his pledge to drain the swamp 4 years ago. You remember that. Well, last night, he revoked an executive order that had banned members of his staff from lobbying the federal government for 5 years after leaving government service. That Drain the Swamp pledge has been reversed. This is, of course, not Donald Trump's day. It's Joe Biden's day. It's Kamala Harris's day. It's America's day. But inasmuch as today marks the beginning of a new era, it also marks the end of another. The outgoing president said in his farewell remarks that he did what he came to Washington to do. He left it all on the field. Foreign policy is one area where the 45th president sought to make bold change. Mr. Trump's record is mixed. Joe Biden is intent on reversing much of it. Today, we expect Mr. Biden to resume the